Hi, this is Carrie Mubarak at wooingnature.life. I hope everything is going well with you. We are easing into the fall. Actually, the fall came in on somewhere around the 22nd of September, so we're still moving slowly into the autumn season. And this is the time for those of you who want to get synchronized with the earth cycles and the energy cycles. The fall is the time when some of us, not all of us, because depending on your region and depending on where you live, the energy is going to be quite different. The fall in Florida looks a lot different from the fall in Nebraska. So what we're saying is that wherever you are, and it doesn't matter, what it is, you have to go with the flow of the season and what the season is calling for. So for those of you who are experiencing fall, this is the time to reflect, a time to celebrate. You should be celebrating yourself, celebrating your accomplishments, the fruits of your harvest, what has happened, what has gone well for you, the things that maybe have not gone well for you. You'll want to make a clean assessment of that. Those things that are not serving you, it's time for those things to go. Those things that are no longer needed, people, situations, circumstances, clutter, objects, anything that is no longer needed for you, you need to go ahead and remove those things from your space so that your space can be clear. Um, there is a spiritual act that goes along with cleanliness. We say cleanliness is next to godliness. Now, I'm a pretty messy person when it comes to my personal space. I need to have my workspace very neat. So there's people who are neat and people who are messy, and we don't want to step on anybody's toes and make them feel like they're less than who they are just because they're messy. But there is something to be said about being of clearing space or clearing your way or clearing out the things that are no longer needed in your life. Sometimes when we're hanging on to things, papers, objects, there's an attachment. It represents some sort of attachment. And whatever your attachment is, it could be a small attachment, like I'm not sure if I want to get rid of these papers because what if something comes up and I need them? Or what if I have to reference this number and, I don't want to get rid of this little bitty piece of paper because, I know where to find it, that kind of thing. That's an issue of organization and flexibility. So instead of keeping little bits and pieces of paper around to remind you of things, you might need to adjust and relearn a different way so that it's not so cluttered. Maybe keep a notebook instead of little pieces of paper, or perhaps instead of having little pieces of paper, you'll, use your Keep Notes or Evernote, or, something on your phone, use your device, or that kind of thing if that works for you. But the main thing is decreasing the clutter, getting rid of the clutter, bringing the clutter issues down to a minimum. That's what you want to do. I also mentioned reflection over the summer. Okay, we don't want to reflect way, way past that. That's for another person, another time, another situation. So if you are dealing with latent issues or things that you're still harboring or hanging on to from your past, from your distant past, then you'll want to deal with those issues with the professional. But for those things, for right now, for what I'm talking about right now, we're talking about the last 3 months of your life. That's where you want to be reflecting back to. And the reflection should be about accomplishments. It should be about things that you learned, experiences that you had that were learning experiences that you can now count and put under your belt and say, okay, now I understand how this works, and this is how I can use this information moving forward. Because everything has to be, well, it doesn't have to be useful, because we can see some very, in our own lives, it doesn't take a lot to look around and see the things that aren't useful to you in your life. Um, but the the um, the idea is to take the lessons with you, to walk with the lesson. and to take what benefited you from it and move with that. Okay. So that's what you want to look at right now during this period of time as we're moving into October. Um, Other things happening around this time, I think we already know that Saturn has gone back direct, which is going to give all of us a little relief. It's been a little relentless over the past few months that we've been in a Saturn retrograde. It has taken us back to Capricorn. We had moved from Capricorn. Saturn had been in Capricorn for a couple of years or more, and then it moved into Aquarius, and then it retrograded. And when it retrograded, it took us all the way back to where we were probably the last 2 to 3 months of last year. And now it's going to bring us back through those lessons, honestly, again, but they should be a little bit easier to deal with because instead of Saturn being retrograde, it's going in direct motion. So we will be moving out of Capricorn. Saturn will be moving out of Capricorn. It will be moving into Aquarius very soon. So just, kind of hold on to your hats and just know that what you're looking at now is just what I call the detritus. It's the dust that's settling, and then once the dust settled, then you'll have much more clarity about what's going on around you, in and around you. So, your October readings will be coming up shortly. I will be doing those again for October as I always do. So, depending on your zodiac sign, or you can do it according to sun, moon, rising, whatever makes sense for you at the time. You can check that out. Those will be coming out for November toward the end of the month. I usually try to get those out to you probably in the last, I don't know, couple of weeks or a week before November comes in. So be on the lookout for those. And as always, I hope you have a great day and I hope you're having a wonderful life. If you need to reach me, you can find me at the information in the description box. Take care.